Okay. I'd intended on having my stepdaughter help me understand PowerPoint and do like a mock version of the coach opportunity presentation that they gave us at leadership, and then to do it tonight. And it just honestly didn't work out. So Haley's home next week, so we're going to work on that, and we'll see how it goes. I'm planning for January. A few things I just want to talk about is that I haven't seen any decline in, effort or energy or consistency at this last month from, my leaders. And so I'm very proud of you, because usually people get distracted. I've kept inviting, kept, doing what I'm doing, but I know that I've been distracted. So I know how easy that can get. So I appreciate that. One thing I want to talk about, a few things, is I'm going to try to get my bearings together on, like I said, on learning the PowerPoint and how to, because I think I'm going to have to use a service on how to do the coach opportunity. So stay tuned for the date on that. I don't know if you guys saw it. I pinned it in the group, and a lot of people don't always see it pinned, but I do know Leslie commented on it, and I think Chris and Lindsay, if I'm correct. But if you've not read the pinned post in the Team Relentless group, please do. This is something that I'm going to do because, last month, Chris and Lindsay worked together on as a team, and they won the challenge that I had. If you didn't read the post, recap is that the trial run in November of teaming up with another coach to basically, compete on how many lives we changed seemed to go really well. And I've decided to do this because of that. I saw that, it helped. And that's been based off of like the cup challenge that we've done throughout the years. Everybody's been around that long, but most of you are familiar that, Beachbody does this, because unfortunately, things happen throughout the year where people get, discouraged, inconsistent, sidetracked. And so, a lot of our team is the red personality or the blue personalities that really like the challenge. And I think that's great, because a lot of people need that extra motivation. Everybody likes prizes, whatever it is. So I want to do this. So my thing is, I can post in the group all day long and you guys see it, but the whole team is not made up of just my personally sponsored coaches. My team is made up because of who you've brought on board. So you're the leaders, you are the leader in your team. So I want you to go to your team, call put together a 15 or 20 minute Zoom call with your leaders, or message them privately, talk to them in your coach group, whatever it is, and explain to them why I'm doing this and ask them to participate. And, I found that a lot of people have a hard time getting involved in these things because of the competition. So I'm trying to take kind of the competition out of it and focus on the culture that I want for my team, is the relationships we have, because I've seen so many relationships grow. And I saw that, I don't know how many calls ago that was when I had you all team up with success partners. I saw a lot of changes go on when you found the right match. Well, part of the rule on this, thing that I'm doing moving forward every month is that I want you to find new partners, because my basis behind it is that, some of these seasoned coaches who have their transformation and understand the value of Success Club, they are comfortable with inviting and all these different things, and they have been a coach for a long time and people have been watching them, then, not saying that, I was successful right off the bat. Several of you are on the, on this call and in this team have hit Success Club every month. But I think we all know that the longer you go as a coach, you have more of a following, and you have more of a chance of hitting Success Club, because it's not just what you're doing this month, but it's over the course of time. So I don't want every month the same people dominating the leaderboard. Like Becky, I didn't even notice it till she said something the other day. She did because I'm in so many groups myself. She had like a little motivational thing for all of her person sponsored coaches, saying that whoever had the most Success Club points got in Sandy Max 30. I missed it. And then she messaged me. She's like, do you mind if I give the prize to whoever? I don't remember who she said it was, because you had the most Success Club points. Because honestly, in her group, I usually have the most Success Club points. So the thing is, if after 3 years of being coach, if I won the challenge that she did every month or whenever she had a promotion, it'd be pretty discouraging for some people. So that's my thing, is I don't want, Lindsay and Chris teaming up every month and winning, because then it's going to discourage people, And then when I did this, Gabriel and Louise had just paired up the month before, and they were kicking ass. And I'm not saying somebody else can beat them, but I don't want people getting comfortable. You know, it's the same thing in high school. You don't want to hang out with your little cliques. The whole point of Team Beachbody community and what I want from my culture, because I've seen it work, and that's what I want to be known for. You know, Diesel Nation's known for the parties and, you know, the events and putting on kick-ass, you know, motivational, inspirational events. I want people to come to our team because they see the friendships, they see the love, they see the growth that we have, and that we cheer each other on, and so many different things. You know, Melissa Galman and I were talking the other day, and there were a lot of things that, you know, I helped her through that had nothing to do with Shakeology or Beachbody. So the thing is, I don't want you getting comfortable and being with somebody who you already have a system with and work with. And I want you to reach out and team up with people cross lines. So, you know, just because, you know, Gabriel's team is on my one leg, I don't want them not working with some people in Louise's team, or, you know, or Melissa Bartow's team or whatever. I want everybody to work together and reach out to somebody who just started. You know, use the color code thing to see maybe who you work well with, so you complement each other. So that's what my whole point is. And so if we approach this as what I said, is I stopped focusing on Success Club members and started focusing on lives. Because, you know, I was with my best friend Jenny yesterday, and, you know, she was like, I was kind of discouraged. I thought that I was letting you down. I was disappointed that I didn't hit Success Club that third month. And, you know, it was all these different things, and she got discouraged. And then she was like, I realized that you weren't pressuring me. But the thing is, people feel that way. So you have to put yourself in the other person's spot. So reach out to people new in the group and find who you know, can help you. An example is Simone, who's on my team now that she's new. You know, she told me, and then she made her first video, was very courageous, is the fact that I was busy Christmas shopping with Joanne and her sister on Sunday, and couldn't be talking on the phone. And I encourage everybody to go to the group and ask the questions. Don't text me, don't inbox me, don't go to your coach, don't go to somebody else, ask in the group, because of the fact that there's different perspectives. And the thing was, forget the perspectives, forget that I was shopping, forget that I was busy, forget anything. She felt welcome. She felt encouraged. She felt part of it. She felt that people cared, and this was great. So the thing is, remember when you started in the group, how you felt, and you're all here because I know that you built the connections. I know Sarah was the same way, that, you know, we welcomed her. She was able to open up to us in the beginning of the training group. She met Robin at, you know, Super Saturday. So these are things that, remember where you started and how you felt and how welcome you feel when you see new people come in. I know, and I'm guilty of this, that I don't comment on a lot of this stuff in some of the groups because of the fact that then you get a million notifications. But there's this great thing now on a computer, or even on from a phone, that you can click that little, it's like a arrow thing, click, and it says stop notifications. So welcome somebody and, you know, help out, give them some feedback, because that different perspective helps. Because, you know, I've seen how the post that Denise posted today, and I saw so many different responses that helped her get encouraged when her sister, you know, kind of let her down, and people gave different perspectives, and they asked different questions, they said different things. So this is a team culture, because the thing is, you'd want to feel welcome. And so I asked you to do that. And so anyways, I want you to share with your team why this is important. Share with it that it's not just about winning, it's about teaming up and getting help. So then if you have these new coaches and you invite to participate in this group, and they're like, well, I'm new, I think I'm going to fail, then say, no, this is kind of like a mentoring thing, that we're here, team up with a seasoned coach so that we can help, that they can help you learn. So don't take this into a competition thing, but make sure that you're presenting it in the way that it would be inviting, that if you were a new coach, that you would say, oh, well, that actually sounds good. To me, it's all about perspective, and it's all about wording and how you approach somebody. If you have somebody who's a red in the color code, then you might want to present to them the competition, the winning, the money, the gifts, the whatever, the recognition, because that's what motivates them. But if you have other people, the white personalities, then that's not probably the way you want to present it. If you have a yellow on your team, then that's when you make it fun. We're going to do calls, we're going to do this, we'll do these collages. I mean, that's why implementing the color code thing is so great within your team. So I wanted to just share that with you. Another thing is, and maybe you saw it in the group, and again, I know the groups are busy and there's a lot of notifications, is what I'm doing is that we have so many groups going, Team Relentless, the Relentless leaders. If you have your own team page, if you have your own challenge groups, and I had 3 training groups going. And so I'm just overwhelmed. I get so many notifications, and that's when I just, shut down. So I'm doing the trial run. Amy's helping me, and Micah's helping me, and Robin's helping me. It is open to other coaches, but honestly, I don't want to put any of you who are leaders in there because you should be running your own challenge groups. I'm opening up to new coaches, but I really recommend that you start doing this, that, if Melissa wants to work with her team or with, another coach or, whoever, run these groups together with different coaches, not just the people on your team, because I even think that, Chris and Lindsay have similar, ways of working together. Well, it's great. You're comfortable with each other, but working with another coach to get perspective would help. Asking another new coach would help. So getting the perspective from another coach and the help, and you can learn things from each other. Again, that creates team unity and you learn from each other. Don't just stick with people who you're comfortable with or people who just directly affect you. That's the thing I want to say. But anyways, if you read my posts, I tell people what they're getting. I tell them that they're welcome to come. They get a 21-day free meal plan. If you don't have that of mine, I can send it to you. They can participate in a 7-day Shakeology challenge, or we're going to do a squat challenge. So you don't have to be a paid customer, but so every day in January, I'm going to post in this group. And then what's going to happen is the next month they can roll into the February one. Well, as this goes on, this is a trial run. I'm going to try it for 6 months. And hopefully we'll go well. I'll end the group, open up the new one. As the time goes on, we're going to have coaches in there, new coaches, their people. And so this helps your people in your downline or other coaches that you're working with who may only have 1 or 2 challengers, bring them in. You're opening it up for free challengers too, but you're not having to run separate groups. So I used to always be like, I'm doing a 21-day fix group. I'm doing a Shakeology group. I'm doing a free push-up group. And then it was like, Jesus Christ, the first 5 or 10 days, you're like, yay. And you just get tired because I would get tired. I'd get lazy and not post in there. And then I would get depressed because, like the P90 group right now, a lot of us who are in there like lost interest in P90. I hurt myself. And right now we only have 1 person who's still doing it. And that's happened to a lot of my groups is we had that 1 person and then you stop posting, because I think we started with like 25 people in the P90 group. Even myself quit. I didn't ever start it back up. And now we have 1 person. But you know how many times I've stopped posting in there and then that 1 person got lost by the wayside? But I've consistently been posting in that group and she stayed on. And so we don't want to lose those people along the way because I've identified her as the 1 person, this is her first program. Think that if all of us lost interest and we were coaches and, I stopped posting in there, she may not have ever finished her program, but we're already on track of what she's going to do when she finishes. So, my whole basis with that is just to keep a group growing. And then you don't have that overlap of like on January 1st, I start 21-day fix group. Then the next month I start P90X3 group. And the next month I start HIO. Well, then as you see, you have tons of groups that just keep rolling over. And, if you only have 1 person there, then you forget posting in that one and you go to the live group. And at least for me, I have. And so if you're a new coach, you're starting challenge groups, I'm just saying, I'm going to try this and see how it works. And then as the time goes, you're going to have people who, like my P90 girl is going to go into my January group. She's going to be kick-ass because she's just finished her first program and she can't wait to get going. Then there's going to be like Robin and Amy and I who are starting Insanity Max 30. I haven't sold an Insanity Max 30 to a customer yet. So, but we're running on there. And then, the next month, new people come in. And then when they're doing just a push-up challenge or just doing the 7-day Shakeology challenge, then they're watching Robin and Amy and I, hopefully I survive, crushing Insanity Max 30. So the next month they may want Insanity Max 30. At least in my mind, this is the way this is going to work. So I'm just sharing this with you. So if you're at the point that you're bogged down with challenge groups, to try this. So like I said, then when January 30 ends, boom, the group, or 31st, the group's over. We do another one. So right then I can manage other groups, and do a training group. So that's what I suggest. If you have anybody who finished the Coach Relentless Revival group or somebody who kind of bombed out too in the rank advancement one, Louise and Melissa are doing one starting on January 5th, a rank advancement one. So this is why we work together as a team is, I saw when I was doing the revival one, the rank advancement one, Lindsay was in the revival one. She was keeping it going on. So this is, again, so nice to have the team going. What else did I want to say? Start planning for the year. And then this is one thing I was going to share with you is that I think that I say to everybody, it's like, you're the CEO of your own business. Treat it like a business, not a hobby. I've not treated it like a hobby. I've treated this seriously. This last year has kind of been touch and go. It's been one of the best and the worst years of my life. But I've also had a hard time. I guess I was so structured in 2012 because I was getting going. In the 2013, I was pushing really hard to become a full-time coach. And so I had these big whys and stuff. Well, then I reached my why, and I was kind of having to refine my why. But then I was trying to enjoy my life, and business kind of went up and down over the year because I enjoyed my family and I enjoyed my freedom. So I'm not going to apologize for that or say that's wrong. But this year I'm realizing that to hit elite again is going to be a lot harder because I have to push even harder and I have to stay focused. So 2014 was kind of, hit or miss in a lot of ways. It looks like I'm going to end elite unless some disaster happens, but I have to get really buckled down to do this. And I have enough leaders and I have enough confidence. This time last year, I got pretty depressed right after I hit elite because I was like, I didn't think I could do it again. This year, I know I can do it, but this year is going to take not strategy, but hard work. Like I told Ryan, I think that I, didn't see it as a business as much as I do now. So for me, I've planned out the next 5 months. And so I urge you to do the same thing. Is don't fly by the seat of your pants because of where you guys are at now. There's a lot of you that are close to 2-star or have a plan of 2-star or have a plan of elite. Leslie and I talked the other day, and a lot of her goals changed. She shared it publicly the other day about she lost her job, and I did miss that or didn't know that. And so she said, you think 2-star is a good goal? And I said, it's a great goal, but now that I know you have more time and you've been consistent, you attend all the events, I'm like, 5 stars way within your reach. And so she set that goal. So don't set goals on that are safe. I watched a few of you set pretty big goals and you did it. Anything you set your mind to and you visualize and you put on paper and you share, you can do. Just make sure your energy is focused on the right people and it's focused, your focus is consistent. But for me, is one thing that I was going to share with you is I have a system based on what I just told you about the 30-day group. So I'm planning it out because I will admit every month, I said that my challenge groups were not based on the specials, but they weren't, but they were just kind of like made up. I didn't have anything in stone. It was like, well, I think I'll start the challenge group on the 14th of this month or the second Monday of the month. And there was the third Monday of the month. There was nothing concrete and it was planned the last minute. So this is kind of tentative to change, but for January, I'm going to do the super squat challenge, and then a 7-day I survived the holidays Shakeology challenge. And then I'll be, basically pushing the 3-day refresh and the PIO and 21-day fix and Insanity Max 30 and Insanity Max 30 because it's new, 3-day refresh, PIO and 21-day fix because those are pretty good starter groups. February I'm going to do a free challenge, the February Lose Your Love Handles challenge. I have the schedule already printed out. So, I'll do graphics and open up the group, and a 14-day holiday or Valentine's Day Shakeology thing where we start February 1st until the 14th. And I was planning on doing PIO and 21-day fix extreme because 21-day fix extreme is coming out. So again, January is going to have to be lots of research on your behalf about 21-day fix extreme. So you're not just posting the same graphic about 21-day fix is coming out or whatever, but learn about the program, learn, get on any of Autumn's Q&A things, get on any national wake up call that she's on, watch any of her videos, go to the 21-day fix extreme Facebook page and read about it and put it in your own words. If you go to my blog about 21-day fix, there's a whole thing that I say about 21-day fix about how it's geared to, so you can ask people questions. We're like, yes, I want that. That's my goal. And that would be my help. But I never say 21-day fix. So once you get them to say, oh, I need that. I want that. That sounds like something I need. Then they're like, oh, 21-day fix. Okay. You don't want to say, do you want to do 21-day fix? And they're like, no, but if you ask questions on, their eating habits, their energy, their portion sizes, or whatever, and you get them, onto it, that's fine. PIO, I marketed about how, you get out of the bed in the morning, you're stiff jointed, and you have bad posture. I poised it where it made people say, God, that sounds great. And then it was like, well, how do I get that PIO? Because it's the way you present it. And like the same thing I said about Success Club, if you do share the benefits of Success Club, you focus on the people, and then you're saying the same thing, but they agree to it. You know, same thing as if you say, would you like to get in Sandy Max 30 for $50 this month? People are like, yes, I do. But if you say, hey, you can get in Sandy Max 30 challenge pack for $180, they're like, good grief, that's $180. But if you say you can get in Sandy Max 30 for $50 with the purchase of Shakeology, it's all about the wording and where you get people to listen instead of closing off. So in March, I was going to do a plank challenge and a 14 days Shakeology challenge for spring break. And I was going to do PIO, P90, and P90X3 because by then we're hoping to have people who graduate. April, I was going to do an amazing ab one and then do a 7-day after Easter challenge. And then May, I was going to do a cardio challenge. You know, it's just like, you know, little bits here and there. And then a 10-day prep for Memorial Day. So as you can see, it's going to roll over from, you know, month to month. So the thing is, if you have people who sign up for the 7-day Survive the Holiday Shakeology challenge, you know, and they start in January on the 5th, then they try it, they like it. They've been using the meal plan for all of January. They see the, you know, how the community works, how having a coach helps, how having support and accountability helps. Well, then those become your February paid challengers. You know, that's my point. So my biggest thing is team culture. Everybody help each other out. Everybody take a moment to comment on things, to tag people, to post, you know, welcome new coaches, answer new coaches' questions, not just people you know, not just people who are in your downline. Help them build the team culture. And then, you know, having a system. The biggest thing is having a system. And like I said, it took me 3 years basically now to have this system. So I'm not expecting you to be like super awesome now, but I'm hoping you can be super awesome faster because of the tools that are available now through the Coach Online Office that weren't there when, you know, Melissa and I became a coach in 2012. And that the fact that through trial and error of what's not worked for me and the other coaches in the organization share, that hopefully it would save you time where you can become a lot more successful in a shorter time. I guess that's all I have to say. But have a plan for 2015. I want you guys to write your goals out. You know, if you don't want to share it in the group, that's fine, but it does help if you share it in the group for accountability. Get it on paper. You know, set a small goal and set a big goal. If writing down 2-star and is, you know, more comfortable than 5-star, then put 2-star down by whatever date, and then 5-star as your big goal, you know, so that you know that you hit a small goal and you feel great and then you move on. Focus on who your leaders are. You know, I put on there, I want to be 10-star, and Louise is like, really? And I'm like, all right, I'm going to do 15-star. Now 15-star is my goal, but I'm not going to lose sight of the fact of that it may not happen. I'm not saying that to be safe, but I'm not going to say 15-star where I'm pushing people who aren't ready just to get to my goal. And I'm not going to say 15-star and then if I end as 10 or 12, then I'm going to cry about it. But the thing is having those goals of that, I don't want to say 10 just to be comfortable, but I also have to know if I have the right people. And so I've learned, you know, Ryan told me the other day, he's like, you're babying a lot of the new people. Because I identified that I was pushing a lot of people and it backfired and it made them uncomfortable and discouraged them. So then this last couple of months, I've just like tiptoed around and, you know, Keyshawn told me, all right, you saw that Simone's a leader. Everybody's a leader, but I mean, she'd been watching me long enough that she believed it. So, but she was like, now go in and tell her this and this and this and this. And then I remember what Becky did. She just said, Becky, do this and this and this and this. She didn't boss you around. I didn't think that there was any way that you didn't. I just thought everybody did that. So I did it. I presented it, and I know probably a lot of you do it, and I know a lot of other coaches have told me they do it. Well, it would be really nice, you know, if you want, let's try to get to Emerald. Then you just say, look, you need 2 people. Let's set a goal by this and this and this. And I did, and I told someone right away, you're going to sign up on Friday. All right, get your list of people. Go to this is what you're going to do. You're going to present stuff. I helped her on her first couple of posts. I groomed her on what to do for her videos. So you have to do that. You just don't think that they're going to figure it out. Don't think that a lot of people are not perceptive. A lot of people aren't going to watch your post and be like, wow, that was really great that she posted that way. I'm going to formulate the same thing. Some people actually have to have the thought process. Like, this is why you do it. Here's how you do it. And a lot of my coaches, I help them write their first couple posts about their story. I proofread it and everything. So do that, because my thing is, you know, you think that in your job that you are, at or were at working, nobody just sat you in front of the desk and said, figure this out. They told you step by step. And then you show them how to find it. And I'm like a Nazi, and so is Louise, about learn your frequent asked questions. Stop, because I see this all the time. Stop giving people the answers in the group. You think you're being helpful, but you're not. I mean, I did that. So make sure that when you see somebody ask a question of how long program times are or how long it is, don't give them the answer. Please, please, please. Don't give them the answer. Tell them, go here. If they get pissed, then they get pissed. But, you know how to find it because you found it on your own. And I know because I've done it before in the past. When somebody asks me to do it, I'm like, I know how to do it by hand, but I'm like, I can't remember the steps. So I log in. I'm like, go here, go here, go here. So if you're going to put that time in, tell them how to find it, So make sure that you're doing this so that we create leaders. And that, because if you just tell people the answer, they're not going to remember. They're going to just copy and paste it and send it to whoever it is. But you're not teaching leaders. And like Louise and I are like sticklers about that. I'm not going to tell you the answer. I'm going to tell you how to find it. So make sure you're doing this for your team because, I got to the point too where I was like, I'm not seeing any leaders go. Well, I wasn't really encouraging people to be leaders if I was just doing it for them. But in the beginning, helping people know what to do, giving them some step-by-step of what to do, reviewing their posts is great. But then I always like I told Simone, I'm going to help you. And I'm going to help you really closely for the first 3 months. As long as you're giving the energy back to me, I'm going to push you. And then from 3 to 6 months, I'm going to watch you. And I'm like, and then hopefully after 6 months, I'm not going to have to help you as much. Not that I'm not going to help you, that you don't care, but I don't want to be sitting there reviewing your posts, telling you what to say to people, telling you where to go to find things. And I'm like, I hope that you'll be helping people. And so she understood that. So if you set that precedence in the very beginning and you set the rules, that's fine. Just like when you go to a job and start a job and they say, these are your job requirements. If you don't do this, this happens. If you do this, this happens. And you're like, okay. So the thing is, you set the thing. I mean, I learned this at the Franklin Covey thing. You set your hours, you set the rules. I said it very carefully to everybody. If you don't get a response from me, it's because my phone's off. If you don't like it, then I'm sorry. But everybody seemed to be like, oh, okay, that's great because we understand. So don't pussyfoot around all of your team. Tell them this is what it's going to be. And you go, because you're the CEO of your own company and your own business and you set your own hours and everybody will respect you accordingly. So when you say my phone's going off, then your phone goes off. Because I used to say that in 2012 and 2013 after Franklin Covey, that when people messaged me, because I'd have people blowing up my phone. I remember I set these rules. I told people to go to the Team Relentless thing. And I was with Joanne, Cody, and Ryan of the Nuclear Cowboys. And I sat on the phone for a freaking hour on the phone with somebody. After I just said that and asked them not to. And then my phone was blowing up and I left to go take a call. Then I was stressed out. So the thing is, if you say these are my hours and you are not going to answer your phone, don't answer your phone. Because if you don't get a response, then they're going to have to go to the group or they're going to have to figure it out on their own. I ignore a lot of messages I get from coaches outside of our team that I get. The other day, somebody was blowing up my message box. I don't know what they're asking about. Where to find the frequent asked questions. And I saw a little preview and I didn't answer. Louise. And like 4 hours later, I see her message again. Oh, never mind, I found it. So the thing is, eventually people will figure it out. And if not, then I don't know what to tell you. So with that being said, then 30 minutes, write your goals out, share it with your team. Don't be scared to share it with your team. Because if you're trying to hit 10-star or 2-star or 5-star or whatever, and you haven't told your team that your plan is going, then it's kind of hard to understand. And if, Gabriel and I were talking about the day that once she explained to somebody about what she was doing, they're like, oh, okay. So make sure, because not everybody reads all of our posts. Not everybody has been in the business for a long time. Not everybody watches the videos. Not everybody gets on calls to know why it's important. So make sure that you're communicating with it. And then more than anything, it's not just do this, but tell them the benefits. I've stopped telling people just to hit Success Club. I share with them the benefits. If you can't put it in your own words, or because it took me a long time to write the post, go to the Coach Revival group, because in the first 10 days of it, it's very business oriented and about the benefits. So I've been starting the groups off with that so that they know, number one, not a lot of pressure, but these are the benefits, and then I teach them how to do it. So that's it. So in recap, make sure that you go and share with people about participating in the team challenge that I'm going to do every month. If you have any gifts that you think would be great, please let me know, because I don't really know what you guys want. besides books and money and whatever, but let me know. And I guess that's it. I'm going to open up, see if anybody has any questions or anything to say. Do you have anything to say?
I do. Hey, so when...
Oh, hold on.
Hold
on. Let me mute everybody and then unmute you.
There.
Okay, now unmute yourself. Oh, hold on. I got to unmute you. Unmute. Go ahead.
Okay, so the challenge groups that I have run, except for this last one with Leslie, I've followed like the challenge group guide from Beachbody. So if we're going to follow or, take on your idea of doing like a free-for-all, whatever program, challenge group for the month, what kind of content would you share in there? Like, okay, meal plans, drink water, drink Shakeology, eat clean, do your exercises. Well, what else? Like, do you have kind of a structured idea, or you're so smart, you're just going to do it? I know.
That's my next plan. Is it going, like I was saying, that I have the structure for my challenge groups. I need to come up with a guideline. However, if I have people rolling over, I can't use the same content every month. So that's why I haven't done it yet. Cause I'm like, shit, if I say like, do this and you've been in my group for 6 months, you're gonna be like, we just did that on month 2, week 2, day 3. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. My biggest thing is, honestly, I fly by the seat of my pants in the challenge groups, which kind of sucks. But if you've noticed in the P90 group, if you're in the P90 group, if you're in the Beachbody group, because I've been sharing the same things, is that I'm kind of going off of what people's needs are. Like the Find Your Wings one that I'm doing now is basically moms who have lost themselves. So I've been, focusing on getting involved in the team Beachbody thing. So the biggest thing is, number one, making it fun. So kind of having the challenge groups. Mm-hmm. I'm asking you, and I'm telling all of you, if you're running your own groups, do some videos. You're like tip of the day. Like today I shared about my stepdaughter's paper that she wrote about getting your families involved. So doing that, and I asked people to share their tips on how to get their families involved. I shared a video that I made about me and Brendan about depression, and about how to keep the community help. So getting people going. So I was not really asking for a response from them, but sharing with them that look at how, if you got involved in the community, how this would go. I've done pictures of your refrigerator, and it was a funny story that, me and Louise were the only one with beer at talk. I mean, finding things that motivate people. So I'm going to be kind of running it by the seat of my pants based on what helps. But I mean, definitely if you're in my group, or if you're running your own groups, a recipe of the day. People have been loving on my blog that I do step-by-step how to prepare meals or videos. Read a minute of your personal development and then share a minute recap of what you said. Doing videos of you, a plank challenge. Make it fun. Make the content where it's valuable, where somebody learns something. Make it where people have to respond, because when they respond, they find things that are in common with the other challengers. And that's the thing, is that I found from listening to National Wake Up Calls, talking to the coaches who recruit a lot of people, the coaches who have the most customers turning to coaches are the ones who have it fun. And honestly, this is being recorded and uploaded to YouTube. I'm not going to say that, but the challenge group guides in the Coach Online office are really, what's the word? Not they're scripted, but they're very informational. After all, that doesn't get people to go. But I think the challenge group guides are there for new coaches to get some, have a baseline to go on.
Right.
And you hear this from all of them, is the coach basic content in the Emerald to Diamond group is there, but personalize it. If you ever read the document on the Emerald to Diamond thing that you can copy and paste in there, and you read mine, it was very similar, but I personalized it. I added something that was from my experience, or I added some videos, or so the biggest thing is personalizing it. I really feel the challenge group guys are kind of there just for new coaches to get started, to get comfortable. Mm-hmm. And a lot of it is that the challenge groups are good for me too. If you don't own a program, there's that video on the beginning of each week from the trainer to give them, and then you kind of you'll know what schedule's on there, because you see on everyone each week they tell you what to do, and you know what people should be expecting. But I don't follow that, but I do use content from there. So on that one, I don't know how to tell you what to do, but learn from me. Content I share, and the more than anything is seeing what is working with your challengers. Because before I would just post shit in there to post it. This last one is I've been posting stuff that I'm finding gets the best response, and also obviously knowing your challengers and finding what their struggle is. So I don't know.
Okay.
Does anybody have anything else?
Thank you.
All right, so just use this last 2 weeks to get people amped up for January. If you have not hit Success Club, you better bust your ass, leaders. I can tell you all that, but bust your ass. Don't wait till the end of the year when people are unfocused. January is going to be a huge, huge month, and February is going to be even a bigger month. And then March will be great. Get to Super Saturday. That's the only thing I didn't say. Get to Super Saturday. Wherever you got to go, get to Super Saturday. And don't just get to Super Saturday. Get your team to go to Super Saturday. They don't have to go with you. If they don't live where you are, get them to Super Saturday. And if you are a California person, I would be there in the end of February. So please reach out to other local coaches and let's get that event going. Oh, and if you're a Texas coach, I don't see too many Texas coaches. I see one. Well, two. But I'm doing the one January 31st. Gabriel's already been there and Louise has been there. But you have Texas coaches, so get them there to the 3 Vital Behaviors one that I'm doing at the same place I did the last one at. So that's it. Anything else? Oh, let's take a picture. Ready? Has everybody got their smiles on? Melissa, you good? She was brushing her teeth. All right. Love you guys. If I don't, well, I'll talk to y'all. Goodbye.